I just knew we were going to be talking about the show at some point because I'm so in love with it. Hey guys, hope you're all amazing, and if you are not, I hope my video puts a smile on your beautiful faces and makes you laugh. It really couldn't be helped me to not talk about this series. I'm talking about seasonal series, which I have not talked about any seasonal anime for a little bit now. I have, because I'm telling you right now, my anime watching is so up and down right now, and I revealed in my last video that I was going to attempt to want to alternate when talking about anime series, like old, new, but this isn't really in that segment of my channel. It's going to be, this is just, me gotta let it out. It's like one of those videos, if you've seen my video on when Full Metal Panic Season 4 returned, Invisible Victory. I just did this whole video rambling about it and everybody loved it. So I think this will be like one of those. I was not planning to take on board a lot of seasonal anime this year. And for the winter 2019 season, I have been watching two. One is Domestic Girlfriend, which that series right now is a total hot mess. Hot, complicated mess. But the other one that I've been completely investing my time into weekly, which I'm happy to, it has totally surprised me in so many ways, and it has surprised a lot of people as well, for Isekai series, and that is The Rising of the Shield Hero. Oh my goodness. Now, I first heard about The Rising of the Shield Hero when it premiered its first 2 episodes last year at Anime Expo. Then didn't hear anything about it till then, and then as towards the end of last year, Crunchyroll started plastering advertising everywhere about this series. I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna watch it, because it's been about a couple of years since I've watched an Isekai series. Last one I really enjoyed was Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, which is getting a season 2 this year. So excited. So yeah, it's been a while since I've watched one of those. And, you know, with Isekai series, you know, I feel there's been a lot more of them over the last, I'd say, couple of years in anime. I've noticed personally that, you know, they've been highly on the rise. You know, a lot of, you know, these singular characters getting thrown into a parallel world or a video game or whatever. Until now, there's never been something that's added a new mix into the ball game. And The Rising of the Shield Hero has just knocked out a few of the usual things you expect in an Isekai series. And I can't even know to where to begin. Like right now. 7 episodes out, so I'm just going to be basing this off of what I've seen so far. But if you have not been watching The Rising of the Shield Hero, The Rising of the Shield Hero is about a guy named Naofumi, and he's just your average otaku. He's more of a casual, you know, he likes, you know, mainly anime and manga. He's not heavily into video games, and he's just really casual. Then one day he gets sucked up into a book on his visit to the library, and he gets sent to this alternate world, the kingdom of Melromark. In this world, he is summoned by the king of this kingdom, along with these 3 other guys that are from these alternate universes of Japan. And they are known as the 4 heroes that will save this world from the catastrophic apocalypse known as the Wave. These massive wave of monsters that come and destroy everything. And there is this thing called the Dragon Hourglass, which will go off, this massive hourglass thing full of sand, will go off when the next wave is coming. So this is why these people have summoned these 4 guys. They are part of the prophecy. They will save the world from the wave. Everything seems pretty basic, and I should say the first episode is 45 minutes long. And I'll tell you why it's good that it was 45 minutes long. And, you know, it seemed very generic at first while I was watching the first episode. But then the series does a 180. And our main protagonist, Naofumi, who is known as the shield hero, which he is actually known as the weakest hero. He's completely stabbed in the back by the people who summoned him, the king, and also the girl that joins his party, because she really backstabs him and falsely accuses him of raping her, which he doesn't. And she, underneath, has a key part in the plot, which we'll get into later. And Naofumi then, everybody turns on him. All the people of the kingdom, the king itself, the whole society of people in this world is corrupt. It's messed up. I expected Naofumi to just go absolutely ballistic, go on a rogue rampage, but the dude, he like remains about half composed in the moment. He still says he will do, even though he is like fuming with fury and frustration, he still says to these people, I'm still going to do what you sent me here to do, and swallows it down like a pill. But then he, you know, his personality takes a 180, because before he was really, you know, excited, chill dude, but now he's just, you know, like there's this anger that's come out and he's become put up walls, he's very distrustful of people, and he then goes off on his own, because in order to face the wave, he has to level up his skills because he's known as the weakest one. He can't attack, you know. Shield hero, all he can do is defend. And I'll tell you right now, when this moment came along of Naofumi just not going ballistic, going on a killing spree I was expecting him to, or something, I was completely entranced with his protagonist. For like in Sword Art Online, for example, Kiroto, I remember, you know, he was all goody two-shoes and save the world that, you know, everyone's locked inside the game. But here we have a protagonist that started out as the weakest link, already thrown a bunch of hardships within the first episode. Which, by the way, first episode was the most exciting setup for a series I've seen in quite some time. And it's so enthralling. I now can see why they put it as 45 minutes long. I'm like, yes, this was needed. Most definitely. Regarding episode 1, there was a bit of controversy that was started up. It was assumed because of the whole plot point of, you know, let's falsely accuse Naofumi of raping a woman. Because of this plot point, people started saying that the author of the series had this vendetta against women, had this persecution against women, and people just blew it out of the water because the series also deals with slavery, which we'll get to in a minute. That caused another controversy, just caused up all this unnecessary controversy that there was no evidence to back it up, that even the author had a vendetta against women, you know, adding this as a plot point, because people were blindsided. They didn't see past the crucial part to the story to set our protagonist Naofumi on the path of, I'm gonna do this on my own. As the title says of this anime, the rising of the shield hero. He rises up against what has been done to him. Sure, Naofumi was mad at what had transpired with the falsely accused accusation. He was mad at that, but he was more mad at the unjust and unfairness of the system that was used in this kingdom and this whole society worked in this parallel world. That's what he was really mad at. Gonna get them bitches. I'm just like that. I'm just like, come on. I can't wait for the moment where he, you know, karma comes to these people, these evil people. And you know what? At the same time, the three other heroes, when I was watching the first episode, you know, they were just as bad, you know, seeing Naofumi as the weakest link. And, you know, I thought they were all assholes. I'm like, I don't like you other heroes. I don't care about you. Especially one of them that's Motoyasu. Motoyasu, I can't stand him. Every time he comes on screen, I can't stand him. And then after this episode, finally, the story begins to build. And boy, does it build. Because every episode since episode 1 has been so thrilling. Something's happened. I'm learning as I go about the world setting, learning gradually, you know, how this world works. And another thing that people didn't like was the element of slavery, because, you know, Naofumi, now he is in a position where he can't trust nobody. He feels he can't, and he feels no one's gonna ever trust him. And he buys a slave. He buys a demi-human, which is half demon, half human. A little raccoon girl called Raphtilia. And she has already been dubbed as best girl for winter 2019, which I can have to totally say I agree. Oh god, Naofumi is a bad person! How could you buy a slave? His treatment towards Raphtilia at the beginning, you know, it's like, oh, don't be mean to her, you know, but that's because he is very mistrustful of people after what has transpired for him through his hardships, what he's been thrown in since he arrived in this world. This happens through episodes 2 and 3. It focuses on Raphtilia and Naofumi. You know, he tells her that you have to attack for me. I'm going to teach you how to fight, because that, you know, that was also a clever move. You know, I mean, sure, it looks bad. Oh, I bought a slave, but at the same time, it was tactful. It was about strategy. You know, if he's going to survive, he's got to survive somehow. So, you know, that's why he taught Raphtilia to fight, but also he saved her. And you see these really sweet moments with him. His walls begin to come down with Raphtilia. And in the end, of course, you know, she wants to stay with him of her own free will because of how kind he's been to her. And this was great for Naofumi's character, because he's been like this stiff, stubborn mule ever since, you know, he walked out of the, you know, grand palace room. It was so crucial to, you know, at least show that he's not a bad person. I knew he wasn't a bad person. And I just loved that, you know, we got to see Naofumi's, you know, kind side. I think if any of this had not happened to Naofumi, he probably would have stayed the way he was, but, you know, it's just like, Naofumi, when he was dealt this massive blow, it's like kick-ass mode came into the mix, and I'm just like, I like this badass Naofumi better than the Naofumi before. But, you know, Raphtilia softened him up big time, and I loved the character Naofumi has formed into so far. Because he's continued to surprise me of what his next moves are going to be. And definitely Raphtilia, I was not expecting him to go by her. And, you know, it's fascinating also that in this world, you know, she just levels up quickly. She's already like a lady, already an adult within the first few episodes. She looks better as an adult than as a kid. And I'll tell you what, there's a particular episode 4 so far, which is just, it hits you big time, but at the same time, regarding Naofumi, there is a moment where it's showcased that he is a very selfless. He's done a few selfless acts, regardless of how he's been treated up until now. He may act all arrogant and asshole type, you know, towards people, but there have been certain acts where he's been selfless. One I can never forget is when the village of Luxton was overrun with monsters during the first wave that came, and Raphtilia and Naofumi go to defend it, and purposely none of the other heroes were going to come to Naofumi's aid. Well, that was just obvious, wasn't it? And then and also the soldiers weren't going to come to his aid either. They went to the aid of the other heroes on purpose. Oh, you know, it just makes you so mad. It makes you so mad. It really does when you're watching this. So there's a moment where Naofumi and Raphtilia are like hiding, and then the night soldiers pass, and they looking around for Naofumi, seeing he's still alive, and they say, "Ha, we weren't going to come to his aid, blah, 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 blah." Of course, this moment makes your blood boil. And then, of course, a wave of monsters come, and Naofumi then goes and defends the soldiers, even though they just were not going to come to his aid. They were going to, you know, leave the dude standing alone. Another twist comes. One of the knights comes and saves Naofumi, and then so do all the rest. It was just like one surprise after the other. You know, after that, made me love Naofumi even more. He could have been this asshole rogue protagonist for this series. He is like sticking to his guns still of I'm still gonna do what I was sent here to do so he can go home. I'm sure he wants to. But then even after all this, there is even a more reason that I fell in love with Naofumi. There's a moment that happens that is so emotionally involving Raphtalia that he finally breaks down his walls of frustration. Because up until now, he'd remained so composed. When people start to, you know, be kind towards Naofumi, and people are grateful of the things he's doing, you know, he just breaks down. He breaks down. And it is such a emotional scene, especially with Raphtalia there saying, "You are needed, I need you." And I loved seeing this vulnerable side to Naofumi. Like, I got a little teary during the whole episode, and because I feel like now we've seen all the sides of what makes Naofumi. I love him as this series protagonist. He is just the perfect fit. He just truly is. I can't put it else into words. I just love his characters so much. He's always doing the unexpected. I never know what his next move's gonna be. Now we have this bird known as Filio. There's a cute war that's going on between a raccoon girl and now we have a bird. Naofumi's whole party now they're adorable. I love watching every second of them, I do. And you know what, I loved so far the focus on Filio, the bird, the talking bird, which you can transform into a girl as well. She's a particular special type of species, and I just love watching all of them. The fight scenes and learning about the world has been equally as enthralling and fascinating. Oh yeah, the fights. I've loved every fight up until now. I'm loving seeing all these different new shields that he acquires. And, you know, he's been able to show off his skills of what he's learnt so far. Because I feel like if any of the other heroes were this series' protagonists, they'd be boring as. Freaking boring as. And speaking of, the other heroes, a couple of them surprised me because they came to Naofumi's aid in one of the episodes. No, actually twice. They helped him twice, which I thought in the beginning they were just assholes. But they come to his aid 2 times. That was another surprise. The rising of the shield hero is definitely unlike any other isekai I have ever watched. Oh man. You can tell how happy this series makes me because it is nearing into my favourite animes already. I'll be able to tell you if it does by the end of, because this goes for 25 episodes, I'm like, yes! And definitely when this comes out on home release, I want it in my collection. I would rewatch this, most definitely. Because it's just, it knows how to draw you in. Plot twists, epic fights, a protagonist that surprises you every single friggin' episode. And he's not like your typical isekai protagonist. Cutie girls that we don't know who to choose between, Raphtalia and Filio. I don't know who to choose because I love both of them. Can't wait to hear the English dub for this. I think I heard a clip with Raphtalia and Naofumi's voice actors. I know Raphtalia has been played by Erica Mendez. I heard her voice. I'm like, oh my god, yes, cute factor. I haven't heard Naofumi's voice yet, but I heard a clip of it and it sounded good. I can't wait to watch some of it in the English dub. Right now, I'm so freaking excited of where this series is going to go. I have not been this excited about an isekai series for the past 2 years. You know, we've always gotten the same of isekai series, but you know, here we are, we have a different one. It's doing different things, unexpected things. And I have to commend the opening theme as well. It gets stuck in your head. And the ending theme. The opening theme is everything. It just gets me pumped at the start of the episode every time, and that's by Mad Kid, and the song is called Rise. They're not a well-known Korean boy band. They're not. They're kind of hidden in the shadows. This is their biggest comeback, this song, and it's just catchy. It's catchy. The lyrics go with what the series is about, Naofumi. And all I'm waiting for right now is the moment where Naofumi becomes totally badass in one moment and gives back these people that have dealt him what they have so far, and they get the karma that they deserve. Rising of the Shield Hero. Epic, epic stuff. Just started off the seasonal year with a bang. Let me know down in that comment section below. What has been your impression of the Shield Hero so far? Are you feeling the series is unlike any Isekai you've seen, or are you someone that's never seen an Isekai series in your life and this is your first one? What are your thoughts on it? Just tell me anything, anything. I just want to talk about the series more and more. Hope you enjoyed my exciting ramble for the Rising of the Shield Hero. If you want to watch the series, it's on Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll gets everything. That's all I got for this video, and all the linky links are down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video, whatever that ever ends up being, because here it's a surprise every time. See ya later.